This is problem 3 from Unit 4, Review Problems. Okay, so this is about airfare, and I'm assuming you read this over a little bit. They're sending 3 people to China. They need to buy tickets, 3 tickets to China and 5 tickets to France. Okay, and they tell us that the airline tickets that they vary. So the first thing we're asked to do is define some variables. So let's just do that. So A, we're going to say let C be the price of a ticket to China. And let F be the price of a ticket to France. Okay, so then they also say they want us to express the total amount the company will have to spend. Okay, so let's just say let T be equal to 3 times C plus 5 times F. Okay, so T equals 3C plus 5F. Alright, so that's A. Find the mean and the standard deviation of this total. Okay, so the expected value is the mean. So the expected value of T is the expected value of 3C plus 5F. So that's just equal to the expected value of 3C plus the expected value of 5F. No, I wrote that wrong. The expected value of 5F. So that's 3 times the expected value of C plus 5 times the expected value of F. And let's just go up here. I guess somewhere here I should have said that the expected value of C, making too many mistakes, the expected value of C is equal to $1,000 with a standard deviation of C of 150. And the expected value of F is 500, a trip to France, and the expected value of the standard deviation. The standard deviation of F is equal to $100. Okay, so now we can just plug these numbers in. 3 times 1,000 plus 5 times 500. So that's going to be 3,000 plus 2,500. So that's $5,500. That's the expected value. Now the standard deviation, that's going to be the square root of the variance. That's the square root of the variance of T. So first let's find the variance. So the variance of T is the variance of 3C plus 5F. Okay, now we add variances, so 3C plus the variance of 5F. Now here's where we want to stop and think. The formula says that, put it over here, the variance of a scale or a number times a random number is equal to the scale, the number squared, times the variance of x. Like that. Okay, now that's when the event occurs once, and then we're just multiplying it. So that's what's happening here. We're buying the tickets at the same time. They actually say that here somewhere. At the same time, at the same price. Okay. So the price is only going to get set once, and then you're going to multiply it by 3. So that's going to be 3 squared times the variance of times the variance of C. So 5 squared times the variance of F. Okay, so the variance, remember, is always the standard deviation squared. So that's 3 times 150 squared plus 5 squared times 100 squared. Okay, so that's what our standard deviation is going to be. It's going to be 3 squared times 150 squared, and then 5 squared times 100 squared. So that's our variance, and our standard deviation is going to be the square root of that. And that comes out to be, I get 672.68. Okay? So I just wanted to make a note that that's different. If they bought the tickets at a different time, then it would be the variance of one ticket price set, and then another time when they buy, plus then another time when they buy, and then that would be 3 times the variance of C. You wouldn't square it. That's when they buy the tickets at different times. Those are the different formulas. Okay, so I think that gets us through B. Now they say find the mean and standard deviation of the difference in price of a ticket to China and the ticket to France. So the difference, that would be the expected value of China minus France. So that's just going to be 1,000 minus 500. So that's going to be $500. Okay, but the variance of C minus F is going to be the variance of C plus the variance of F, because we always add variances. So that's going to be 150 squared plus 100 squared. So the standard deviation of the difference is just the square root of 150 squared plus 100 squared. Okay, and then just make sure that you don't do this. Don't do this. Please don't do that. That doesn't work. You have to add, you have to square these numbers and add them and then take the square root. Okay, and then you should get 180.28. Okay, and then that's C, and then D. Do you need to make any assumptions in calculating these means? How about the standard deviations? Okay, so you don't have to make any assumptions about taking differences in means or adding as we did above, but you do have to assume that to add variances, you have to assume that the ticket prices are independent of each other. Okay, which I think is, in general, I think that's a reasonable assumption. Somebody might argue that something could happen, like a war or the price of oil going up, and that would drive up the cost of both flights. But if we remove like large factors like that and just look at supply and demand type factors, they probably are independent. because you're traveling in two different places. It's not like they're asking us, or we're trying to add the price of going to France and also going to England, because some people might fly to England first and then France. So there might be some times when you can't make that assumption. But here we're going to assume that the two variables are independent. Okay, I hope that helps. Good luck.